This is an Audi RS3. This is a 5-cylinder Daza engine. And here's what a 5-cylinder exhaust sounds like. And this is a Unitronic Stage 1 Plus tune. Let's get into it. So yes guys, as you read that title correctly, it's about that time. We're about to tune our Audi RS3 with Unitronic Stage 1 Plus software. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so we've completed our Unitronic Stage 1 Plus tune with the matching DSG tune. We're gonna go ahead and set off, we're gonna take a drive, and we're gonna see how it does. It's got some power to it, man, no doubt about that. I'm gonna have to say that top end feels very strong. That's really where the RS3 shines, I would say, compared to like some similar MQB models amongst the lineup. There's just something about that 5-cylinder, you get that really nice, that robust kick as far as like that top end of the power band, which in my experience hasn't really been something I've noticed with a lot of the 2-liter cars. Something that's pretty cool about the Unitronic tune is the fact that with this recalibration, it actually allows the valves of the exhaust to completely open up all the way in sport. So I've noticed a little bit more tone, a little bit more definition from those crackles and pops with the factory sport exhaust. Just in case you're wondering, this car is equipped with factory sport exhaust. We have not yet made any changes to anything as far as downpipe or mid-pipes. Not yet, of course. Dude, this thing is an absolute rocket, man. If you're thinking about getting an RS3 or a DTRS, just go for it, man. You're not gonna be disappointed. The sound and the presence of the 5-cylinder Daza engine, 100% worth it, man. Don't look back. So I'll make sure to go ahead and put up a picture of the graph as far as like our projected figures for horsepower and torque. Obviously, most of these graphs from these different software companies are usually gonna be like estimated crank figures. So it's hard to say exactly what you're going to be looking at of the wheels without actually putting the car on the dyno. But I would definitely say pretty solid gains over stock. Again, any 2.5 liter car, it's going to pick up a pretty respectable amount of power with just a basic software upgrade. So for anybody new to the world of tuning or maybe looking at these different platforms across the MQB lineup, with Unitronic, their terminology describes Stage 1 Plus as their 93 octane version of Stage 1. So if you happen to live somewhere, you're in a place where you only have 91 octane, it's just going to be referred to as Stage 1. Again, Stage Plus being the 93 octane variant. Now, for anybody wondering as far as our choice on the DSG tune, I went with the Unitronic Stage 2 DSG tune. This is the most common option for Stage 1 Plus cars. So overall, I'm going to say really nice improvement with the DSG tune. Sharper shifts, everything feels more crispy and responsive as you would expect from the DQ500 gearbox. Now my next point I want to talk about is kind of the noticeable difference, like the before and after as far as the tune. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say, based on the before and after with the tune, I suspect this car might have already been tuned. And the reason I say that is because it is quicker, it feels more responsive, it feels like it has a lot better top end, it feels like a better delivery of power, but I don't think it was stock. I've had quite a few cars in my lifetime as a car enthusiast, and I'm usually able to tell right away the dramatic contrast between a stock car and a tuned car. And while this car still feels very quick, and it has a pretty healthy amount of power, I just don't think it was completely stock. just my opinion. Every car being a little bit different. With a used car, you're always going to have somewhat of an unknown history, and obviously me being the person that drives this car on a daily basis, I'm just kind of giving an overall assessment as far as the before and after. Now, if I were to speculate, I'm going to say perhaps this car might have had maybe another Stage 1 tune from a different company, or maybe in this particular case, us going to the Stage 1 Plus 93, perhaps maybe had a lower output version from maybe a 91 octane file, or maybe a low torque file from another brand. Again, hard to say, just overall speculation, but I don't think this was a completely stock car for the starting point. Excellent drivability and performance from the Unitronic tune, as you would expect. But again, looking at kind of the starting point as far as where we're at currently, I'm going to say probably was tuned with something. So overall, guys, I'm going to say this is a great tune. You know, if you don't want to get too deep into heavy bolt-on modifications, this works with a stock car. I think you really can't go wrong. It's a tried and true, it's a safe option. You're not really going to be pushing yourself into a deep rabbit hole, which carries a tremendous amount of risk, which obviously, you know, modifying cars, there's always going to be some risk, but in terms of the world of aftermarket, you know, performance upgrades, I think this is still a pretty safe level as far as a performance upgrade with tunes. If you guys have an RS3 or TTRS, if you happen to be a fellow 5-cylinder enthusiast, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I want to know, what tune are you running on your RS3? For the rest of the video, I'm going to go ahead and spend some more time driving the car on the back roads. We'll let this RS3 stretch its legs, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one.